Hey everyone, it's Natalie. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I've read a lot of comments and everything about like my life coaching. And so, for now on, this is the deal. And this video is not really what this is about, but this is the deal. For now on, I am going to be charging $20 an hour for life coaching. I was not doing that before. I was letting you make the donation that you wanted to make. But after reading comments, you will have to pay me up front and make sure it goes through. Me transfer it into my bank so you can't cancel it and say it was fraud. And I am going to start that because I think it's rational compared to other life coaches on YouTube that are charging $100 an hour or more. But anyway, so getting that out of the way, okay? Because a lot of people keep commenting on that and like giving me advice. And yes, I do ask for the donation up front before, but they call before they do it. And so I'm stuck in a position of being rude. So for now on, if you find it rude that your donation was not made and you call me and I have to say, hey, I have to hang up with you until you make the donation, excuse me, but I've been screwed so many times that I just can't do it anymore. I don't want to shut my channel down. I definitely know how important it is to have people on your side who understand what you're going through, especially me after 25 years. By the way, this is a vitamin D patch because I'm not getting enough, like, I don't know. I've been doing like liquid IVs and stuff because it just helps your mood, and this gives you energy. These vitamin Ds, you can get them on Amazon. They've been helping okay. I used to do Magic Mind, but you would only get like, let's see, 15 for like an outrageous price. Like, I don't know. It was like $50 or something, and then for 30-day supply is $90. They tried to be one of my sponsors. And when I tried to contact them and they were like, oh, no, we already filled the sponsorship, whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing sponsors. I don't care. But I went ahead and tried their product. It is a good product, but it's very outrageously expensive when you can just buy the same thing that's in that drink. And you can get like 30 patches for, I think, $10. It's the same exact ingredients, basically, just in a patch that you wear. So anyways, today I'm coming on here just to kind of like, I never really have these setups, I just speak what's on my mind. And one thing I read in the comment was, Natalie, can you do something about a terminally ill in-law and how I should handle it? Well, I have made several videos of that because I did have an in-law that was going through cancer. And what I can say about that, answering this comment, is if your husband feels the need to go visit them on their deathbed, you should allow it. Just allow it. You have to remember, this is their mother. Although she is a horrible person, or if it's the father, you can't be that person to tell your spouse that they can't go see their dying parent. Now, when it comes to you, it is your choice to show up or not. And if you do show up, you have all the right and authority to sit down and tell them that you would like to speak to them on a personal note and tell them the mistreatment and how it has made you feel and why you guys have never gotten along. And that's okay to do, even if they're on their deathbed. Maybe they need that. Maybe they need to know that. That way, when you leave that hospital or wherever they are, you have the freedom now to let go of all that resentment, envy, anger, and all that, and give it to the universe or God, and let them or the universe, God, whoever you believe in, deal with it. Deal with the repercussions of what they have done to you. Now, you finally got to say what you wanted to say to that person that you've been holding in for so long, and that will help your healing journey. See, I did that. My husband did that. His mother was in the hospital bed. Nobody was around her side. She talked about it. And he, as she's sitting there with cancer, right, said, hey, you know why Natalie and your only grandson isn't around your bedside? Is because of the way you've treated them. And it never had to be like this, Mom. You could have had them around your bedside if you wanted them to be around you, but they have chosen not to because of the way that you have treated them. And Bryce is not here because of the way you have treated his mother through these 20 something years, right? At the time, I think it was like 23, 24 years. Because kids are affected by it. They are. They see it. Okay, it's hard to hide how a narcissist treats their daughter-in-law from the actual person who gives birth to the child that is related to the grandma. They see it because it is a constant conflict and conversation within that family unit. They see it, they know it. Kids are very smart, and they have something that we don't have, and that is a insight that we have lost growing up as adults that children still have. And for whatever reason we lose it. I think it's through trauma and just hardship that we lose that insight or that ability to see through people that are not kind people. And so you have the right and the blessing, maybe by me. I'm really not the one to do it, but God is, or whoever you believe in, and even if you don't believe, to have the authority to go in and finally say your piece. You say your piece. And you do it in a kind way, and you do it in a way that is respectful, but you let them know, and you let it all out, and then you walk out of that room. Regardless if they are trying to say sorry to you or not, it doesn't matter. After you have said your piece, you simply get up and walk out of the room and never return to that person's face. And you let them die. And when it comes to their funeral, it is up to you if you would like to go. If you do not go, yes, it will upset some family members, but you have that right as a human being not to go to their funeral. And see, this right here shows you the fate of the narcissist. When you go to a narcissist in a hospital or a nursing home on their deathbed, you will never catch people sitting around comforting them. I've worked at a nursing home, which I've said in the past, and I always wondered why certain people never, ever, ever had people come visit them. But after knowing them and how rude and inconsiderate they would be to me, like I was a freaking servant, a slave, literally, talking to me bad while I'm changing their poopy diaper, I think that was the first time I realized like what narcissistic abuse was. Because if they are willing to treat a nurse who is changing their diaper that they pooped in and has enough, I don't know what it is within you as a nurse or whatever to do that, just enough I guess respect, enough courtesy not to embarrass them and stuff like that, and you're willing to do that, but yet at the same time they're willing to talk to you like you are a servant when you are doing God's work, when you are trying to make this person not feel embarrassed about pooping themselves. Then you figure out why people are not around them. Because I think when a narcissist starts to age, the really ugly side of them come out. And that's why I try to warn everyone that if you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with someone that is aging. And when you're dealing with an aging narcissist, you're dealing with somebody that is going to start acting really cruel, really inappropriate. They're not going to act like a normal, civilized human. They're not going to care, for sure. Definitely not going to care. And so I always tell people that if you're in a situation where your mother-in-law is aging, she is getting worse, the best thing you can do is step back from that situation. Now, if you decide to go no contact, you have that right. But if you decide to go gray rock, which means a lot of people do not know this term, but the term gray rock is you are having some contact, but surface contact and limited contact, okay? So you are not talking to them about, certain things in your life like you would your best friend. You want to tell them things about what's going on in your family. You want to do this, all those things. Gray rock is where you might bring them, I don't know, a freaking bouquet of flowers like once a month if they're in a nursing home, or you just do like little weird stuff like that, but yet once you deliver those flowers, and I'm using this as an example, and the thank yous, if you get one, are exchanged, you sit with that person for a few moments. They might ask you how life is going, and you always, you never, ever, even if this is happening, tell them that you're having troubles in life. You always say, things are going great. Thank you for asking. Period. Point blank. So these phrases, which I have videos on, you have to scroll down, phrases to use with the narcissist, I think the video was, teaches you how to use phrases when dealing with a narcissist and you're gray rock, or you are in the midst of being forced to be in a relationship with someone that you don't want to be in a relationship with. They don't want a relationship with you, and they pretend like they do. So you have these phrases that you use that are very surface. They are intentionally worded the way they are to make that narcissist know that I am not playing your game. You see I'm not playing it, so ask away. Ask any question you want. You're going to get the same surface response. That's it. So look, scroll down, see whatever video that is. I think it's phrases to use with the narcissist, or I don't know. It's one of those, right? So you have to train yourself to start speaking in a almost foreign language when you're around a narcissist, because when you're around normal people, you talk freely and openly, and you share things, because you know that it more likely is not going to go around, be gossiped, and people are not going to stab you in your back if they don't have ill intent. But you know with the narcissists, they do. So when you are around them, you have to remember in your head that this person is a foreigner, that this person does not speak the same language as you, and that this person is not the same human being or have a soul like you. So you start to use phrases and sentences that block any, block anything that the narcissist can say bad about you. So these are neutral phrases that the narcissist cannot use against you later. That's the whole point, is that these phrases paralyze a narcissist in a way that they cannot turn around and say, hey, Natalie said this or Natalie said that. No, you simply say, oh, everything was good. It's great. Whatever. Like, whatever they ask you, it's always good. You don't ever complain to the narcissist about anything that's going on in your life. You never ever complain about anything wrong in your relationship. You never complain about life in general, or how hard work is, or how hard college is, or school, or whatever is. You always say neutral phrases in a positive manner, that everything is great, thank you for asking, life is wonderful, even if it's not at this time. Because the thing is, over time, we know life does get better. Life is a roller coaster. You're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. And when you're down, the worst thing to do is play a victim. Play like you want to complain to everyone, thinking someone's going to save you. The only person that can save themselves is, get this, is themselves. You cannot rely on others to save you. So you climb up that roller coaster to the top and start succeeding. And sometimes at the top, you will fall down again, right? But we all know a roller coaster, and I'm using this in a example. We know that eventually the ride ends, and when the ride ends, where are you? Are you at the bottom, or are you at the top? You usually always start at the top, right? Yes, sometimes roller coasters start at the bottom because they have to like really push you up there. But once you're done with that roller coaster and you look down at the roller coaster, sometimes it is above you, some of the loops, but most of the roller coaster is at the bottom, right? So when you are done with dealing with all the crap and mistakes and the things that you've done in life that brought you up and down, right? All the drama, all the trauma, all the stuff, negative stuff you have allowed in your life, you eventually get off that ride and realize, you know what? Although sometimes that ride was fun, that ride also was scary. And so we learn from those mistakes, and we get off that roller coaster ride, and we move forward in life knowing that we do not want to experience those scary parts again. That the highs on that were wonderful. They gave you emotions and excitement, and you screamed, and you raised your hands, and you felt great. And that drop, well, that drop that you feel on that roller coaster is the drop to the bottom. And when you're at the bottom, even though you experience that excitement, you're at that bottom because you use too much of your energy focusing on something that brought you excitement instead of focusing on something that's going to be long lasting in your life. Something that's not going to make you have to climb another hill. You know, it's like that analogy, like you're in that pit and you have to climb out of it. Well, a lot of people don't think, well, how are you going to climb out of the pit if you have no way of climbing out? Well, what do? You start collapsing that hole around you to build the dirt for you to climb on top, and you keep taking the dirt from all the sides and pounding it on top to climb out of that pit that you're in. That's how you get out of the pit, is that you dig your way out. And you dig your way out through the sides, not from the bottom, but from the sides. You take the dirt from the sides and you build yourself out. And once you're out and you've made all that work and all that effort, taking your fingernails and you're clawing the dirt to make a pile at the bottom of the pit to climb out of the pit, you realize how hard you've worked to get out of the pit. And then you look at that pit and you say, I'll never go back in that pit because it was too hard to climb out of. And so this is the lesson, that when you are around narcissists and you are finally escaping them after they put you in this pit, you don't go back and look at that pit and say, I want to go back in that pit and climb back out. Or I don't want to go back on that roller coaster where I had joy and excitement for one time or another with this narcissist and thought things were good, and then all of a sudden I dropped down, and all those emotions that I felt about that narcissist that I loved, all of a sudden I find myself at the bottom of the roller coaster scared. How am I going to climb back up? These are the things you have to think about. A narcissist is there to bring you down, not bring you up. Are they in the pit with the shovel getting you out? No. You're using your hands and feet to claw your way out of the pit that the narcissist put you in. So do you go crawling back to the narcissist who didn't help you get out of that pit? Or do you look at that pit and you say, there's no way in hell I will ever allow another human being to put me in a pit where I had to crawl my ass out. I'll never do things in life or make mistakes again to be in a pit that I have to crawl out of, because it was too much work. It was too hard. And now that I'm out of that and I see the work I did and the improvements I made and the sweats and the tears that I've done, I am now going to recognize that there are people in my life that should not be in my life, that surround me, that suck the energy out of me, and I am done with them. That you have to find the strength within you to hurt other people's feelings by saying, I can no longer be friends with you. You can no longer be my family. You can no longer have contact with me. And you block them. I just blocked a friend today. I did. Unfortunately. Constantly calling me. I caught her several times snoring on the phone with me because she was on drugs. I met her at school as an assistant teacher. I knew immediately she was on Vicodin because she told me. She thought I was totally cool with it. I played off. And she kept nodding off in school. She kept abusing drugs, her Vicodin, right? So we're in school for 7 hours. You are supposed to take a Vicodin 1 every 6 hours, okay? She opened her purse and she had like a shit ton of Vicodin that she was going to take within that day. This is what she took within this day. It was like, I don't know, it was like 7 of them, right? So that's 1 an hour around children. So I have teachers asking me, why is she falling asleep in class? I make an excuse. Oh, she has insomnia. Oh, this and that. I get called into offices. I get called like crazy stuff. And I have to make up lies and excuses for her. And finally today, after I caught her texting on her husband's phone to me, asking for my, get this. So I need a second spine surgery, which all y'all know this. Asking me for my medication because her husband was in pain. So I call. Immediately hung up. Don't call, just text. I'm like, because of course I'm going to say no. It's illegal to do that. You never can do that, especially in pain management. You sign a contract. So I called because I was going to give him advice on how to solve his pain issues without medication. And I really found it offensive, them knowing how much pain I was in, to actually ask me for a pain medication, which is highly illegal to do so. That could put me in prison, federal prison, for doing so. Okay, so this happened. So I call her out on it, and she admits it. And then she shifts the blame, which shows me she is a narcissist. How dare you write a text calling me an addict and this and that, when my phone is shared with my children and they saw everything, and I'm in recovery right now, and my husband's taking me to this and that. And I told her, I said, you need to take accountability in your own actions. I said, you're the one that was around children high. Shame on you, and goodbye. You lost a friend for lying to me. And I blocked her, and I blocked her on Facebook. Probably follows this channel. Who knows? She's super obsessed with me, I feel like, at least, because she's like constantly calling, constantly texting. Even my son's like, what is wrong with her? Like, even my son. Okay? So these are the type, and the reason why I'm telling you this story is not to bash this woman, but to show you that there are people around you that are toxic, that could get you in trouble, that could get you, I don't know. They're lying, deceitful people, right? So this is a narcissist. This is a narcissist. And then they turn around and play the victim. So, you know what? I don't put up with that anymore. I just simply block. And when I woke up this morning, I saw an email, a text message she sent. I didn't even read it. I swiped, deleted, went to her name, blocked, went on Facebook, blocked. I don't deal with it anymore. And this is the way you have to treat your narcissist. Look, this is 27 minutes long. I'm sorry. I know you guys like always ask me for stories and stuff. So like, I'm literally telling you, like, this literally just happened within the last 24 hours. Okay? When you lie to me, when you're asking me for pain medication, it's highly inappropriate. When you're lying and saying that your husband's the one that needs it, and I call her husband to give him advice about like lidocaine patches and heating pads and stuff like that, because there's no way in hell I would ever in my life do something like that, because that is federal time. You do something like that and a cop finds out, or whoever, you will go to jail. You'll get kicked out of pain management. And as bad as as crippled as I was in the last few months, I wouldn't, like, it's so inconsiderate for someone to even go to that mindset, to ask somebody who knows that they need a surgery, who knows that they're on medication, to come and ask you for medicine because they ran out of their own. And that is how you know they're an addict, and that is how you know they're toxic. You know how many friends have died of mine in the past few years over this? I take this stuff very seriously. This is why I have a pain patch, so I don't have to take those pills. I'm not going to do that. I'd rather just have something administered like every hour, I think it is, than me having to be like a grandma taking pain medication. And the very fact that somebody even asked me for that and then plays it off and acts like a victim, oh yeah, baby, she got blocked. She got blocked. I don't play with drug addicts. I don't play with narcissists. I don't play with people that lie to me. See, and my whole point of this is me telling you, because I've, like, actually, girl, you know who I'm talking to. This happened to you with your mother-in-law when she stole your Adderall. Remember? It's happening. And it wasn't only you that told me that their mother-in-law was stealing their medications out of their purse when they weren't looking. or out of their home or medicine cabinet. There's been many mother-in-laws that have intentionally stolen medicine from their daughter-in-laws. And then the daughter-in-law doesn't really realize it until like the starting end of the month because they're short. And they're like, well, why am I short? And then they go confront the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law lies and this and that. Or they'll even get, like, they got caught red-handed taking these pills from someone that needed them, okay, for ADHD. So when you don't have ADHD and you're taking that medicine, it's like meth, okay? So the mother-in-law, who is a narcissist, has the nerve to talk shit about her daughter-in-law while she's stealing her Adderall to get high like it would, like meth. You see how fucked up, you see how messed up these people are? It's out of control. These people are some of the most conniving, evil, serial liars, deceivers, victims I've ever met in my life. And that's why you have to get rid of them. Today, when I saw that text, and I didn't even read it, I didn't care. I already caught her. I caught her. And I tried to help her at first, though. I tried to help her with her addiction. And she came back cussing me out because her son saw it. Because she told me that she lived in a bad marriage. And I said something about that. Sexist and all that. And I said something about that. And she comes back because I guess all of their phones are connected. And she makes up this big story of lies when she told me in person. Me and my husband have a good relationship. We're doing great. We have a great sex life. Everything's good. How dare you send a text message like this whenever my sons can see it and calling me a drug addict. I need help and blah, blah, blah. Or next text is, I'm in rehab. Brian's taking me. So I say, so it's okay for you to basically cuss me out, but she didn't. In other words, cuss me out about calling you a drug addict and how I want to help you. And then you text, and your children can see it, and then you text me that you're in rehab. Well, can't your children still see it? Oh, that's right, they can. See, this is what they do. They play the victim when you call them out on their bullshit. So this morning when I woke up and I saw that she texted me, because I told her our friendship is over because I'm not going to deal with drug addicts. I'm not going to deal with people like that. I'm not going to deal with liars. I'm not going to deal with people that intentionally make up stories on text messages when I have coffee with them and they tell me the truth about their life. I just deleted it without reading it, blocked her on everything, and said I'm done. And that's how you have to do a narcissist. You're just done. Because they're liars, they're cheaters, they're all this. They don't care about you. They're going to cover their track any which way they can to make themselves look better when all you were trying to do was be a good person. Right? Oh my God, 33 minutes. I don't even know what we accomplished in this video. Just bring joy to your life. You know what I mean? I mean, look where I am. I'm in my backyard. We're just like chilling, right? I don't have to have friends around me to make me happy. I got my birds. I got my animals. Things like that, right? This is what's healing me. What's not going to heal me is people on drugs. People asking me for my pain medication when I need a second spine surgery. Like, I would go to federal prison if I did something like that. And she didn't give a damn because she was more worried about getting high. Yeah. That's a narcissist for you. And a drug addict. It's unfortunate. But I guess my point of the story is, these are the people you have to get rid of. Your very own friends. Because you're not going to find the joy in people like that. You're not going to find the joy in people that lie and steal and cheat and are thieves and use you and all of that. Like, you don't even realize they're using you. Even though, like, you see stuff. Well, you know what? When someone shows you who they are, you better believe it. Believe it the first time. Don't make excuses. No. Nope. Block. Thank God for that block button, baby. Alright. Peace, love, and harmony, guys. Love you. Bye.